it and how can we benefit it, on a day-to-day basis. If we can, what are some of the secrets that we can have? What are some of the, offerings that we have, which, we can build it to our day-to-day practice, right? So before I go ahead, right, I have some questions which I thought will, help to set the context, right? So I would like to, this discussion, I thought it will be more, you don't want to keep it as a, one-way show. It will be good we have some exchanges, thoughts, or your perspective on what you think, we could do it better, right? So to start with, right, please feel free to, chime in. Please feel free to share your thoughts as we go forward, right? The first question that we have for today is, can you, on a high level, right, depending on the number of servings that we eat in a day, can you quantify the number of, or how many kilos of food do we take in daily? Any guesses, any numbers?
2 kg?
2 kgs, okay. Anything else? And it includes all the food, no? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, with in between snacks that we have. 2 kgs. Anything else that we have?
2 to 5, probably, if you take water intake also. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure, but then that also counts.
Okay, 2 to 3, yeah, 6 to 7. My God. Okay, great. Interesting numbers, right? So typically, on an average, from the research that has been happening, I mean, again, it's just an average, not the exact number, but typically we take on 1.5 to 2 kilos per day, right? So, I mean, this number is just to give a glimpse of, if you convert it into a month and if you convert it into a year, right? Can we even think of how much do we, bring into the system, and how does the system handle, so much of, food intake that we do? Just to do the math, right? If you consider it as, let's say, for mathematical purpose, we'll keep it as 2 kilos, right? So 2 into, let's say, 30 days a month, right? 60 into 12, so 750 kilos of food per person per year, right? And if we just multiply it to the number of years that you have been here, mind-boggling, isn't it? Okay, let me go to the next question. Okay, this is again an interesting ask. How many liters of air do you think we consume daily? I mean, you just don't have to be in any, it can be a random number. There is no right, wrong answers. Just some perspective on what do you think? How many, what is the,
30 to 40.
30 to 40 liters. Okay. Any other answers?
We have 50 liters in the chat.
50 liters. Okay. And if I tell you the answer, you'll again be, rattled. This we have been doing it without us paying attention to it. Any other final answers before we let out the cat out of the bag?
We also have 80 liters in the chat, and we have 1,000
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, the answer is just 10 times of that last answer, right? So typically, knowingly or unknowingly, right, we consume close to 10,000 liters of air every day, right? And it's not something we do consciously, but that is something which we have been, taking in daily, day in, day out, right? 10,000 liters of air per day per person. You just multiply into the number of population that we are living in, right? That is the amount of potential that we have in our environment, right? Okay, going forward, the third question. What do you think, out of the different modes of elimination of toxins, what percentage of toxins do you think can be eliminated through breath? Any percentage that you think? So we know there are a lot of options where we get out the toxin on a day-to-day. We get out the toxins, right? There are a few known and there are a few unknown. So any numbers you think, what percentage do you think you can tap the breath on a day-to-day basis?
Jyotsna says 50%. Pooja
Okay.
says 80%.
Okay, very good. Yeah,
I say
close to.
70%.
Sorry, what was the last answer?
I say 70%.
70%. Okay. See, this answer is coming from some of the researches that have been done by All India Institute of Medical Sciences, right? So they have done, they've gone through multiple papers, they've come out with some numbers. And what they say is, on an average, right, per day, if you're able to tap the breath completely, we'll be able to throw 90% of the toxins, right? If you use the lungs to the fullest extent, we'll be able to throw 90% of all the toxins that we accumulate on a day-to-day basis. And the next question is again interesting. What do you think if you lie on a table, right? Let's say you are on a horizontal table, right? And if we open up the lungs, right? And if you want to measure the size of the lungs, would you take a guess on what will be the size of the lungs? What do you think?
As hand size, I mean, the palm that I'm talking about, if I'm not wrong.
Sorry, I missed you. Can you come again?
The palm size.
Palm size. Okay. I didn't talk about the heart. I'm talking lungs.
Okay.
Well, I mean, heart is like you say, is the size of our palm, the size of a fist. And what do you think could be the size of our lungs?
Lungs are the largest organs in our body, so I guess it will be big.
Correct. Correct. And any guesses? You are right. You are coming there. Almost there.
So that's 8 in numbers.
Okay. Let's not build secret, right? Let's not keep the secret out. See, if you look at it, right, what they say today is, if you place the lungs on a table, right, or on a ground, the size of the lungs is equal to a tennis court, right? So the lungs actually, if you are able to see it visually, see physically, if you want to keep it in a place of paper and then see what the size is, it's actually the like we heard the answer from Raksha where she said that it's the largest organ. The size is close to a size of a tennis court. Yeah. And then, okay, interesting question, continuing to that. What do you think is our usage of the lungs on a daily basis? How much percentage do you think we are using our lungs on a regular basis?
Deepa says 20%.
20%, okay. Any other answers?
I think 40 to 50%.
40 to 50%, very good.
Healthy person can use that much.
10 to
Okay.
20%.
10 to 20%. Okay. Again, this number is on an average has been told that we use 1/3 of the lung capacity, right? So if we just do a math, right, we keep accumulating toxins on a daily basis, right, through our food, through the environment, through our interactions, through a lot of internal and external factors, right? And if we just let go 1/3 of the toxins that we use through our lungs, through our breath, right? What happens to this, right? So if we simply do a math, right? We discussed in the earlier question that breath has the capacity to let go 90% of the toxins, right? But then what we do, we are just using 1/3 of the lung capacity, right? Which means that the 2/3 of the toxins that we accumulate, right? I mean, various sources. There is no end to it, right? Today, if you go to a road, if you go to a food, a lot of practices that keep accumulating this test. So what happens is, over a period of time, right, these toxins, when you are not able to let them out of the system, they start creating diseases, right? Which slowly starts coming out in the term of aches, pains, and then over a period of time, if it's not addressed, then leads us into multiple discomfort and diseases as we talk about. Yeah. Okay. And I just want to use one last question, and I just want you a practical answer to it. Right? Let's keep all our hands on the tummy, right? And then just see what happens when we take a breath in and a breath out. Do we have any physical movement of our, diaphragm or the stomach, right? Okay, I'll ask you two questions. Right? What happens when you breathe in? Can you keep your hand on the stomach and observe your movement? As you breathe in and as you breathe out, are there any actions or are there any movements in the bowel? You can keep the other hand on the chest also, just to make it more, personal to you, so that you are able to feel the movement. We'll take few breaths here. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Yeah, you may relax. Yes, any observations? What happened when you took a breath in?
The stomach came out.
Stomach came out. Okay. So we have one answer which is stomach came out. Any other answers when you take a breath in?
Pooja also says that the stomach expands.
Stomach expands. Very good. Okay. Anything else? So for all of us, the stomach is coming out, right? If that's the assumption, right? Okay. So tap your back, tap your shoulders, right? Which means that we are using the breath correctly, right? We're using our lungs correctly. Many times what happens, it's a scientific, right? It's a scientific truth. So we breathe in oxygen. When we take in oxygen, what happens? We let the air into the nostril, it goes to the throat and lungs. And because of the force that it comes, the diaphragm, which is below the chest, right? Which is somewhere near this area, right? The lower part of the lung, the chest, right? So the diaphragm expands, so the stomach expands, right? And when you breathe out, what happens? You're throwing the carbon dioxide out. So because of that, the stomach bulges in, comes in, retracts, right? And when you breathe in, the stomach expands. When you breathe out, the stomach retracts. So this is the normal breath. But many times what happens, because of our busy lifestyle, because of our practices, what happens sometimes? It gets reversed. In those circumstances, what happens? You are not utilizing the lungs to the fullest extent, because of which there are chances that we end up harming the systems more than using the systems for benefit. Yeah. Any questions so far on what we have discussed? Does it sound interesting? Does it sound relative? Does it sound, okay, this is something which I've been doing daily, but have I ever thought about it? Right? So let's go to the next slide, right? So here again, like we talked about, right? Just want to give you a glimpse of, what breath can do, how much breath can make a difference in our daily life, right? We all know, right? When we came out of our mother's womb, right? What is the first act of life? We took a breath in, yes, and started crying. Correct? If you remember the Three Idiots, Amir Khan's movie, right? You would have seen that the delivery scene, right, in the college where they help to take the baby out of the system, but then there is no sound from the baby. Recall those moments?
Yes.
Yes. So when we breathe in, that is the first thing that we do when we come out of the womb, right? And what is the last act when your breath is out and there is no breath in? Means what? End of our story, right? The ECG comes flat. There is no up and down in the ECG, right? So typically, if you see a breath in and a breath out is what life is all about, right? But have we ever, taken attention to what it is? What can it do? How much does it control our life, right? Like people say, right? Unless until we have a headache, we forget that there is something called as, head. Or if you're not running out of if you don't have a running nose, right? We don't even know that there is something here, right? Coming in and going out. It happens automatically, but just that the attention to the breath can make a lot of difference, right? Like we talked about. Okay, let me ask you one more question. What do you think are the sources of energy, right? In our day-to-day life, right? We get energy through different sources. Yes. What are some sources through which you get energy? Can you say a few answers?
Food.
Food. Okay. What else?
We have one more food in the chat. Then sun.
Sorry, what was it?
Sun.
Sun. Okay, very good. What else can give you to be on your high on a day-to-day basis?
Kavita says breath.
Breath. Okay.
Jyotsna also says air.
Air. Okay, very good.
Then
Okay. Yeah.
there is also workout.
Workout. Very good. Nice. Okay, let me make it easier, right? So what we can do is we can club all these into 4 buckets, right? So we get energy through multiple sources. For the better understanding of this session, we'll club them into 4 buckets, right? First is obviously food, right? Because our body is maintained by food, right? Whatever we take in. When we were born, we are what, 3 or 4 kilos, but now if you look at it, we are like 50, 60, 70 kilos, and this is because of the food that we take, right? I'll ask you another question. How is your day when you're not being able to get proper rest? If you're not able to catch up on your sleep, right? How would your next day be?
Bad.
Sorry, yeah. Right, dull, right? And if you look at it scientifically, what they say is sleep is a major source of energy, right? If your sleep quality is good, then when you get up, you become fresh. Otherwise, what happens? Like we heard, right? The energy level is low, you're dull, right? You're not into 100%, right? 6 to 7 hours of sleep is recommended every day for each one of you, right? Okay, we talked about food, we talked about sleep or rest. Third, there is something called as, in these today's terms, right? There is something called as state of mind, right? If you're in a positive state of mind, if your energy levels are high, then you become more energetic. Yes or no? If you're low in energy, right? If you're bombarded by say negative thoughts, right? Or if the company in which you are has negative tendencies, then what happens? The energy levels come down, right? The third source is, being in a positive state of mind, right? That also, for example, if you visit a place which is very high in energy, for example, if you go to a place of worship, right? Or if you go to a place where there is high energy, like for example, if you go to a mountain, right? Or if you go to, let's say, a sea or seashore, right? What happens? You suddenly feel there is something happening in the mind, right? That's because of the fresh air that's out there, right? The positive state of mind is another source of energy that we get. And fourth, like we heard from Kavita, is breath, right? Proper usage of the breath, right? Breath like we have, and it's untapped source which can make a lot of difference in the way we live our life, right? And this is again another source where the more you tap, the more you get benefited. It's not that it has a limit. For example, let's say we just saw that 6 to 7 hours of sleep gives you energy, but if you oversleep, right? Let's say there is a weekend coming, October 2nd, there's a weekend, right? Okay, let me spend some more time on the bed. Let me sleep for, let's say, 2 or 3 hours extra. Do you think that you're going to get 2 or 3x times of energy, right? So food or sleep has a cap, and beyond which you'll not be able to tap it to the maximum, right? But when you are able to tap the breath, right, it has an unlimited source of energy that you can build in. And like we discussed, right, we are not just this body. There is so much which is not seen, which is internal, right? The breath is the link between your physical body that you see, and there is something called a subtle, right, which is not seen. And breath is the link between these two, right? And we'll see further, there is also a link which the breath plays between the mind and the body. Yeah, this is something which we'll tap as we go forward, right? Okay, the next slide here, we're going to talk about some scientific benefits like we discussed. No, the breath, if you're able to tap your breath to the maximum, what benefits do we get? We're able to handle our stress better, sleep is improved, your mood, energy, immunity levels are increased, blood pressure is stabilized, you're able to focus and do more on the work that we have in hand. And also, you're able to handle our emotions much better. Yeah. Okay. Now coming to the favorite topic, right? This is something which everybody is talking these days, right? Stress. Now, how do we handle stress? Right? Our life is full of stress. How do we handle? So, what is stress? If you look at it, right? Stress, simply put, is you have too many things to do, right? But you don't have enough time or energy to do it, right? So there are a lot of things that I need to do, but I don't have that energy to do, right? See, all of us have 24 hours in a day. Yes, the managing director of the company does not have 2 hours more, right? The lowest person in the rank has the same time as the highest person, right? So we'll not be able to change the output, right? What we need to change is the input, right? See, all of us have multiple roles to play. Yes or no? We just don't play one role in life, right? We are a employee. We are we have a family to manage. We have our personal lives to manage. We have professional lives to manage. We have a career to manage, right? So there is not going to be end to the list of things that we can do, right? So how do you tackle it, right? Simple answer is just focus on the energy levels, right? Just focus on what gives you energy. If you're able to keep your energy levels high, right, you will be able to accomplish a lot of things. Right? You have seen this on a day-to-day basis, right? When you are very high in energy, what happens? You take people along, right? You say that's okay, right? When come along, you work much better as a team if your energy levels are high. Just imagine a scenario where you are low in energy. What happens? Small things start irritating you, right? We say, leave me alone, give me my time, right? So if you just look at the flip side of it, right, it's just that the energy levels are low. And how do we tap it? Just the focus on the breath, just the focus on the sources that we discussed, right? The more and more we talk about it, we'll be able to, the more and more we're able to handle the breath, more we're able to be on optimize the energy levels to the highest level. The last point is very important, right? A strong mind can pull a weak body, but a weak mind cannot pull a strong body. Do you see this inference? Have you seen this in your life? See, if you are very active, right? If you are very sharp, if you are very high in energy, even if the body is, you have stretched out your complete day, but you're fresh, then what happens? Even if the body is little tired, you'll be able to carry it out. But the other side is, if your mind is weak, right? Though you are very strong, though you have done a workout, though you are, done a lot of activities, if the mind is, not fresh, your energy levels are low, then it becomes a arduous task to achieve your day-to-day activities. Yeah. Any questions on whatever we discussed so far? Okay. Good. Now we'll go to the practice. Right? So today I want you to, we'll do, let me just look at the time, 30 minutes. Okay. So we'll do few things, right? We'll do few simple vyayamas that we call, right? Which are going to help us to bring more energy into our joints, right? More energy into our internal faculties, which will help us to, improve energy levels. Ready for it? Yeah. So let's first sit straight wherever we are, right? Keep your hands, keep your laps on the table that you are sitting or the chair that you're in. So what we'll do is we'll do a few neck rotations. We'll start from the head and then we'll go as we down the different parts of the body. So as you breathe in, look up. As you breathe out, touch your chin to the chest. Breathing in, look up. Breathing out, chin to the chest. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Two more times. As you breathe in, look up. As you breathe out, chin to the chest. Now move your neck right and left very slowly. The neck portion is very sensitive. Just make little movements of the neck. Bring the neck close to the right shoulder, to the left shoulder, again to the right, to the left. Just observe what is happening in the body. When you come back to the center, you may relax. Again, chin to the chest, feel the neck rotation. Start from the right side. Half circle, we breathe in. Half circle, we breathe out. You breathe in as you go up. You come down as you breathe out. It's full of awareness. One last time on the clockwise. As you breathe out and come to the center, it's reverse from the left to the right. Becoming aware of the whole movement. And as you come to the center, you may relax. Take a couple of breaths in and down. Good. Now we'll come to the neck region, right? We now come to the shoulders. Bring your hands, clasp your hands on the shoulders, bring the elbows together. Now breathe in, bring it up and back. As you breathe in, observe the expansion on the lungs. And as you breathe out, the contraction. Two more rounds, clockwise. And when you come to the center, now let's bring it from the back to the front. You may hear some sounds, that is okay. The knuckles of the joints might give some movement. It means that you're doing it right. One last round, and relax. Now stretch your hands forward. What we'll do is, you breathe in, bring the hands close to the chest, and as you breathe out, you throw the hands out with a forceful breath out. In, 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 out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Now, spread the hands to the sides. Touch your palms, touch your elbows. Make few circles from the hand. Clockwise. and anti-clockwise, and relax. So we'll do a few more rounds of the hands. Now stretch your hands forward, the palms facing towards the screen. So what you do is spread your fingers away from each of them. Spread as much as possible. Right? Now close your hands, make a fist. We'll do some clockwise movement of the fist. 5 to 7 times. And then anti-clockwise. And now it's open and close. As you open, you breathe in, and as you close, you breathe out. And last effort, bring your palms up and down. In and out. And now the last exercise is bring the hands together, bring the palms together, interlock the fingers. Now stretch it up. Make your spine, elongate your spine, stretch your spine high, as if somebody is pulling you from the top. Stretch high, 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 high. And as you breathe out, let go and give yourself a tight hug. You're giving the hug to the beautiful person that we have in front. And as you breathe out, you may relax. Keep your eyes closed. Observe the movement of the breath. Watch your breath in and out. Become aware of the whole body. Take a breath in and breathe out. One more breath in. Let go complete. Slowly and gently, let's open our eyes. Yeah. So now we'll learn one pranayama, right? This is called a Bhastrika pranayama. Very simple pranayama that we can practice, at home, which can create a lot of difference in the energy level, right? You just watch me once how I do, and then we'll do it together. So what I do, I bring my hands, make a fist, thumbs pointing out, close to the shoulders. I keep my elbows close to the body, right? I sit in a normal sitting position. I can do it on the ground too. That's okay, right? Doesn't matter. So what I do, I take a breath in, hands go up and palms open up, right? Like this. I open up my palms and I breathe. As I breathe out, I bring it down with a little force. And hands come back to the same position. It's like this. The emphasis here is on the exhalation, right? When you're bringing it down, think that you're closing a shutter, right? And you make a little sound from the force from the nose. Yeah? You want to try it once? Keep the hands in front of the shoulders, elbows slightly touching your body, right? You may just practice it 1 or 2 times with me, and then we'll do it for some few rounds, right? Body is light, smile on the face. Yeah? Keep your system very light. Right? Now breathe in, hands go up, palms open up, and as you breathe out, bring it down a little force. And relax. Yes? Easy to do? Okay? Yeah. So we'll do it together. We'll do it like for 15 times, right? And then we'll close our eyes and see what is the change that we see. Yeah? Let's get started. Hands in front, elbows close to the body. Breathe in, up, In, out. In, 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 8, in 9, in 10, in 11, in 12, in 30, in 40, in 50, and relax. Keep your eyes closed, hands on the knees, palms open to the sky. Become aware of the flow of energy in the body. Attention on the breath. Long deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now you'll get ready for the second round of Bhastrika Pranayam. Again, bring your hands in front of your shoulders, elbows slightly touching the body. Beautiful smile on the face. Now let's do Bhastrika together. Breathe in, hands go up, up, in, 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 up, in 9, in 10, in 11, in 12, in 30, in 40, in 50, and relax. Keep your eyes closed. Become aware of the flow of energy. Become aware of the shift in the mind. Keep taking long deep breaths in and out. Gently, let's get ready for the last round. Let's take position. We'll do Bhastrika Pranayam together. For Bhastrika, breathe in, hands go up, up, in, up, in, up, in, up, in, up, in 5, in 6, in 7, in 8, in 9, in 10, in 11, in 12, in 30, in 40, in 50, and relax. Keep your eyes closed. Become aware of the shift in the energy levels in the body. Keep breathing in and out. We'll get into a small meditation. You can just listen to it as if you're listening to it. Keep your eyes closed. Body relax. Shoulders relax. As you breathe in, become aware of the environment you are in. Listen to all the sounds that are there in the environment. The sound of the fan, sound of the AC, sound of people talking in and around you. Just become aware of the sounds. Accept all the sounds as they are. You are in now harmony with the environment. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now take your attention to the place where you are sitting. Bring your attention to the body. Attention on the legs. Attention on the knees. Attention on the thighs. Attention on the abdomen, stomach and navel region. Chest. Right shoulder, right arm. Left shoulder, left arm. Attention on the throat. Neck. Back of the neck. Back of the head. Forehead. Attention on the whole body. Breathe in and breathe out. Attention on the whole body. This body is a beautiful gift that you've got from nature or God. Let's honor and respect our own body. Gently take your attention to the breath. We are thankful that we are alive. It's because of the breath that keeps us alive. The breath in and breath out is what makes us move. We are thankful and have deep gratitude for the breath. As you breathe in, become aware of the whole body. And as you breathe out, relax more and more. Continue breathing in and out. Now, as you breathe in, become aware of the mind. What's happening in the mind? Mind is either caught up in the past or in the present or the future. Use the breath to bring the mind right here and now. Become aware of all the thoughts that are coming across in the mind. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, or no thoughts. Let them go. Do not hold on to any of them. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So take your attention to the emotion or feeling. How are you feeling today? Nice, not so nice. Just become aware of how you feel. Be one with your emotion. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep relaxing more and more. Let go of all your effort. Relax more and more. Repose in the self. Let go. This moment, there is nothing to know. There is nothing to do. Just relax. Keep relaxing more and more. You are pure joy. You are pure love. Relax more and more. Om Shanti. 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 Attention on the feelings. Attention on the thoughts. Attention on the mind. Attention on the breath and the body. Attention on the place where you are sitting. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Slowly, at your own convenience, whenever you feel like it, you may open your eyes. Take your own time. There is no hurry. Yeah? Good. How was it?
It was really relaxing and refreshing.
Nice. See, we just meditate for 10 minutes, right? But see the impact when we do it as a group, right? So it creates a lot of positivity to our workplace, right? And when we are able to come together and able to, spend that 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, like, well, we could have done a lot of other vyayamas, but in the interest of time, I thought we'll just, we use this time. Right? And this meditation is so powerful, right? There's a lot of benefits. There's a lot of scientific researches that has been done on what meditation can make a difference to our life. Okay. So before we conclude, I just want to leave you with one small slide, right? Yeah. So this is what I thought I'll talk to you about, right? So see, in the art of living, we do a lot of practices, right? We do a lot of techniques which can make a difference to the way we live our life, right? And one of the flagship program is called as the happiness program, where we teach this practice, Sudarshan Kriya practice, right? Sudarshan Kriya practice is a rhythmic breathing technique, which will take roughly 20 minutes. The whole practice that we do in a day, it takes 20 to 25 minutes in a day, but believe me, it can create a complete world of difference the next 24 hours that we live, right, per day, right? And this has been practiced for the last 40 plus years, right? And if you look at the numbers, they're close to, this is some numbers that we have on the screen, right? People from across 180 countries in the globe have been practicing it, are practicing it, and then have got benefited, right? And there have been researches that have been done on the Kriya, right? How does it improve our lifestyle? It is helpful to give us a better quality sleep. It's able to handle the stress much better, right? It increases well-being to the extent of 50%. And today's challenge, right? The depression or the mental hygiene that we talked about. This is a beautiful, simple, practical tool which can, create that shift in the mind level also, right? And then it's a 4-day program that we do online or offline. Offline, wherever I think you are in Pune, so we have options available where you can also do in person. So we also facilitate the online program, right? It's a 4-day program. Per day we require 2 hours. So it's basically an 8-hour program, right? And then what can you take away from the program, right? After you finish it, you learn the practice, you learn how to do it at home, right? It also comes with a lot of practical wisdom on how to uplift or transform our lives. It improves our emotional, physical, and psychological health, right? And then makes our purpose more living, right? And then there are practices where you can be part of it on a practice group, depending upon where you stay, where you're able to, be part of it and then keep practicing it on a daily or a weekly basis. Yeah. So with that, I think we are on top of the hour now, right? So any questions, we can discuss it.
I think we have a couple of minutes. If anyone has any questions, please do go ahead.
Okay. So again, I want to thank the team for giving me this platform. I hope it was a good 60-minute investment that we made for our time. So I'm there here. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop in. We have a program coming up this weekend also. If you're interested, you can share the details and you can benefit. Yeah. So with that, thank you team for this wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lakshmi Narayanan. Thanks so much for your time. Like I said earlier, I think it was a very impactful and engaging session for all of us. And personally, I feel much calmer and more energetic than I was at 4 p.m. today. Thanks so much for your valuable time. Participants, again, thanks for your time and being here at this for this session. And if you have any questions or you would like to organize more such sessions in your organization, please feel free to reach out to us at info@kelphr.com. I'll also leave a note on the chat. Thanks so much. Have a great evening, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.